Good evening. I'd like to call the City Council meeting for the City of Waterville for Monday, April 28th, 2025 to order. And first is on the agenda is the prayer, and I'd ask Councilmember John Rosick to lead us in the prayer.
Thank you, Mayor. Loving God, as we come together tonight for the City of Waterville, we pause to ask you to be with us and guide our way. May your spirit of peace surround all we say and do this evening. We ask for your strength to do what is best for the good of Waterville. Lord God, as servants of your people, we pray that you grant us a share of your wisdom. Amen.
All right, and I'd ask Citizen Rod Fry to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is roll call.
Here.
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 Next on our agenda is a presentation from the Metro Parks. We have Mr. Matt Killam, Chief External Relations Officer, is going to give us an update on the Metro Parks. If you'd please go to the podium, state your name, address, and your comments.
Matt Killam, and I am 2255 Robinwood Avenue.
Matt, one thing, could you flip that microphone up a little bit? Thank you. You can. There you go. Thank you.
Well, in a terrible stroke of luck for all of you, we had some AV problems, so instead of seeing images, you'll be looking at my face. So I hope the rest of your day was more palatable than the next 10 or 15 minutes is about to be. Thanks for having me. Again, my name is Matt Killam. I have the honor of working on your behalf for the Metro Parks system. This is really an update over the last 10 years or so, and I've got 10 or 15 minutes. I certainly want to allow time for questions. Since 2016, the parks have changed a fair amount. We've added 1,000 acres of green space, about 50 miles of trails, brought in $100 million of both state and federal grants to our area, and added 10 new Metro Parks. I don't know a lot of people are familiar with our footprints. We have a park system that stretches from Jerusalem Township all the way out to Grand Rapids, Ohio, and service all the areas in between that space, which is quite a bit of difference and quite a foot that we're really proud of. We're almost 100 years old. We steward about 13,000 total acres. We have 231 miles of connected trails, and again, we've got 19 parks. That doesn't include a couple areas. An area is something like the Treehouse Village, which is in Swanton, Ohio. That just means that green space can operate under slightly different rules. All of our parks are open, free, 365, dawn to dusk. The areas can close down based on whatever the theme of that space is. Since 2017, we've had 21 million visits to the park system, and we've seen a 62% increase in just Lucas County residents alone. You might be asking yourselves how we get that information. It is through cell phone data. So if you are worried about Big Brother watching, he is, and he looks like this. So again, good luck sleeping this evening with that piece of information. You're familiar with some of the things we do, right? We live by 3 pillars. Clean and safe, of course, is one. Natural, and it is our job to connect things. All the work we do countywide, and with some level of sophistication, we really just do 2 things. One is we're the stewards of this generation, certainly of globally rare and significant green space. Our other job is to connect as many human beings to it as possible and include them in that space. No matter how exciting we think a project is, no matter how many programs we do, I can tell you that we answer the most questions and people are the most proud of our trail system as well as our bathrooms. It might seem like a silly thing, but a Metro Parks bathroom experience is certainly held to a different standard. You might be asking yourselves, how many standards? Metro Parks bathroom goes through a 22 standard check 4 times a day. Over the last year, we've had 5.8 million miles of toilet paper that would connect from Swan Creek all the way to Tampa, Florida. That statistic I was forced to include in this presentation by our head of operations, who is an incredibly quirky guy, but lives and breathes by data. So we take cell phone data not just to have an understanding of how many people are coming to the parks, but when, allowing us to manage it better and service those guests in the fashion that they deserve, candidly. Safe, obviously, is an intrinsically portion of what we do. Whether or not you think that there's a safety issue, we're here to make sure that there isn't a safety issue countywide. So we have our own certified peace officers. Sounds like we just had a run-in with some barbecue sauce theft. So we've got many partners in law enforcement across the county, sir, so we're glad to stand shoulder to shoulder with you. We are patrolling all of our parks 24/7. We have 4 patrolling districts, and over the last year we had over 400,000 miles logged. So not only are they in the parks, but they're very busy. For those of you that are dog lovers, we added a new member to our ranger team. This is Timber. That might seem like a small or extravagant thing. One thing it does help is it allows for people who might feel uncomfortable with law enforcement officers, have some level of comfortability, allows us to include or introduce children to the safety portion of what we do. And I will tell you begrudgingly, no matter how much work we do, we're on the pace to plant 1 million trees in our county. We have thousands of kids that participate in our camps. So we'll post something on social media, 30 likes, one picture of this dumb dog, 10,000 likes. So the dog is by far the most popular member of our team, despite the fact that we have 225 hardworking people that get out of bed every day to make sure whatever park is your park is to your standards. And again, we've got a park within 5 miles of every Lucas County resident. That's a promise we made and made true on in 2020. We do a lot of new things, but we're also stewards of the shoulders of the people we stood on to make this great, right? So just this year, we'll see additives to places like Manhattan Marsh, which was the park that allowed us to say we had a park within 5 miles of every Lucas County resident. Pearson will see an all-purpose trail around it. We're replacing the kayak launch and the fishing docks at your beloved Farnsworth. And the Providence Dam Shelter will see improvements as well. I think that's important is because we are certainly adding new things, and we'll get to some more, but the Providence Dam Shelter is a fantastic facility. For those of you who haven't been, it's one of the gyms that I was introduced to actually when I started the park system. I wasn't aware of it. That's a WPA facility, so it's been around since the 30s, right? New is great, and it's easy to get on board with that, but taking care of what was entrusted to us, it has an intrinsic value, and we're certainly up for the task. Why what we do matters, right? We've lost about 88% of our forested areas and 89% of our wetlands, right? Those are probably not coming back. This isn't to stand on the soapbox for the green guy to say that what you've done is wrong and how we're living is inappropriate. But those things are gone. So it makes it even more important that we steward what we have today and keep it not just for who's in this room, but the next generation, right? We own about 5% of Lucas County. I can certainly understand some of our detractors saying that's too much property, but comparatively, that land is conserved for next generations, and also it's going to get better. Sort of the effect I have on people. I'm surprised most of you stayed as long as you have. 3 large natural resources projects that I'm really proud of. There's the Secor expansion, which of course was taken into account of Spuyten Duyvil, the former golf course. I can tell you not all of my job is great. I certainly handle some unpleasant calls. Spuyten Duyvil, when that was announced that we were taking over, I got a real nasty call from my uncle. He was furious that we were taking the golf course away. His name is Mike. I asked Mike when the last time he golfed at Spuyten Duyvil was. He said 1983. I said, well, okay, I'm never taking one of these calls again from you. Again, golfing is important, don't get me wrong, but being able to transition that land back into a wetland and having it be full of natural spaces for kids to play in. We took away cross-country races from Pearson about a decade ago because Pearson is very busy. They couldn't be both a park and a cross-country place. It is not our job to take things from you. So when we do it, it's because we have to. So we are looking into replacing cross-country races in Secor that will be able to house everything from children's races, ideally, all the way up into college competition as well. Nice. Howard Marsh, which opened about 5 years ago. It's hard for you to imagine that. That was the largest wetland project in the United States. It became a birder's paradise, right? Toledo and the region are very good at saying what we are not. But one thing we are for sure. We are the birding capital of the world, and we are the walleye capital of the world. That is who we are, and we can be very proud of that, right? Anecdotally, there's a small town in Minnesota that says they're the walleye capital of the world, but they're not. I promise you. So experiences, right? I told you the two things we do is we build green spaces and steward them, but we also want to connect people to it by any manner of species or any way. I remember people thinking that the Treehouse Village was sort of a groundbreaking idea, but the truth of the matter is we built a mountain bike course in the flattest place on earth. We see over 200,000 rides annually to that space. That is out of this world wild, right? There's no topography in our region, right? But we can build it. And with a bunch of volunteers, we made a regional destination mountain bike course that's getting kids out to ride and duping them into learning about the Oak Openings region, right? That's our dark secret, is we want kids to care. And they don't learn from getting their hands slapped or by someone barking at them. They learn by having memories made and by people they like and trust. The downtown park, of course, along the riverfront, has some real amenities. It has an ice skating ribbon. Candidly, we stole that right from a downtown park in Chicago, Illinois. It is an exact replica of it. What do we have in common in Chicago? Very little. But we do deserve world-class amenities, right? And we can have them if we just think a little bit differently. We were just on the doorstep of a library takeover. We convinced our partners in the library to allow us to tree climb to the roof of their atrium. The ropes don't know what it's climbing, right? It makes no difference. They just had 2,500 people come to that takeover. Again, that's not our space, that's not outdoors, but any way we can get in and get people learning about outdoor experiences or rethinking or retraining how to play, we're up for that task. We talked a little bit about connectivity and natural resources. You may be asking, how good are we at this? Well, in 2020, we applied for the National Park and Recreation Association Gold Medal Award. That in our industry is like the Heisman Trophy or the Oscars. We found out that we were amongst 4 finalists. It was us, Dallas, Texas. I don't know if you've heard of that sleepy little place. Mesa, Arizona, and Baton Rouge. We found out that we won. We don't have anything in common with most of those places. Comparatively, Dallas's annual budget is about $60 million. Mesa's is $40 million. Ours is 16, which is a lot of money, don't get me wrong. But we punch above our weight class because we are connecting almost 7 million visitors to this green space annually. We're on the doorstep of planting almost 1 million trees in a decade. We are really good at this, thanks to your support. We are the warbler capital of the world, we're the walleye capital of the world, and we are first in the country at this. And I hope that everyone is as proud of it as we are. We do it on your behalf. The downtown project, again, is one that's received some fanfare. For those of you who've been down in the old Marina District, there was nothing down there for anyone to do. My high school played their away games at Wade High School. I certainly went to some things at the sports arena, but there wasn't a lot to do on the east side, certainly in that Marina District. It had 4 ribbon cuttings. It had what was affectionately referred to as the road to nowhere. It was a strip of road. It had 9,000 light poles in it for some reason. We were able to break ground on that, and within about a year and a half, we've seen 1 million visitors and $400 million worth of economic development around that space. I wish I could tell you that was a Metro Parks idea. Even more so, I wish I could tell you it was my idea, but it wasn't. It came from a downtown master plan, which was the collective of the community saying we should think about this space differently. We are a city as a result of a river. Farnsworth is a great park as a result of a river, right? It is back to basics. It's back to what brought us to the dance that can reunite an entire county again and celebrate the things that we are. Again, we talked a little bit about the downtown park. I don't want to drone on about that. I think one of the things that's a real marvel in that space is we have an unbelievable amount of community meetings to inform how we design our parks. So on all 20, we heard we want swimming, swimming, swimming. We don't do swimming, candidly, but we certainly serve the people who ask for swimming. So there's a giant splash pad in that park that looks exactly like, or an exact replica of the Maumee watershed. About 10 years ago, our water was not drinkable, or at least there was an advisory, right? Happened to be when I moved my then girlfriend, now wife, to town from Chicago, so this was already a tough sell. Moving to a city where you can't drink the water was even more challenging. And we're not here to preach, right? But we do want people to learn where their water comes from and why it's important and what happens to it, right? And kids, like I said, learn from experiences and fun, and we're duping them into learning downtown. So long and short of it, we are a park system that is almost 100 years old. We do this on your behalf. We're very proud of Farnsworth. Farnsworth became my second office during COVID. I was introduced to that park, frankly. I didn't spend a lot of time there. I grew up next to the Toledo Hospital, so we're proud to serve you. I know you've got a tight agenda here, and you've been having a look at my face and not any pictures, but I'll send it along for all of you to look at whenever you're free. So without further ado, I can certainly answer any questions you have.
We'll ask council, Anthony? Todd?
No, thank you for coming. Great
Yep,
information.
of course.
Great information.
Thanks for having me.
Nothing. Thanks for coming.
No, this is great, Matt. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Really, a lot of that information, none of us, well, myself, I'm not speaking for council, but we didn't know any of that, so
Sure.
thank you very much.
That breaks my marketing and public relations heart, but that just goes to show that I should make it a point to head out more often. There's certainly a lot of things every year, but there's a lot of things.
We do have, I'm not surprised you won that award. I mean, we do have a wonderful park system.
Yeah,
Really.
thank you.
Yeah.
Mary?
It's really the jewel of the area. I mean, there's nothing like it. I've been all over the world, actually all over the country many times, and it's like, well, do you have like a walking path? Do you have like, well, no, you can just walk around here. Well, do you have like a safe place where I can
Yeah.
walk for a mile or two? And it's
Okay.
like, no. So I appreciate our parks very much, and you're right about Providence, that WPA building, the upstairs where you can have picnic tables
awesome.
and you can just overlook the river it's beautiful. I mean, I love it. And it's really old, right? I mean, it's like from the 30s.
1937?
Yeah, that's a beautiful spot.
Sure.
So, but thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Matt, if I may, thank you, and if we ever need entertainment, we might call you back.
Yeah, I've got a 2-year-old, so I'm available every night. I'm also willing to come to your homes and answer questions you have late into the evening. So
Seriously, we enjoyed the presentation, and just so council knows and our citizens, there have been some general conversations with Metro Parks leadership over the years
Sure.
about how Waterville can partner with Metro Parks, and we'll look forward to those future comments going forward. So with that, we say thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome to stay, but your 2-year-old probably wants
just
you
be
at home.
lurking in the parking lot.
Yeah.
So thank you again.
All right. Thanks,
Hey,
Matt.
hey, Matt, on a side note, my wife was walking in Farnsworth the other day, and a guy managed to get his car on the trail coming from the boat ramp,
Wow.
Yeah.
doing about 35, and luckily she got out of the way, and she kind of raised her hands up, but the guy didn't, just kept going. So I don't know if that's something that needs to be looked at.
Mr. Widener, I will tell you that I did not appreciate the value of proper signage until I started working for this park system.
Yeah.
Right. I came from the private sector. I own my own business, and well, we all love to serve the public, and that is certainly true. But predicting what they'll do does provide for a lifetime's worth of employment.
Right.
And I don't take that lightly. I don't mean to be tongue-in-cheek at all. Safety is one of our core tenets. And I'll when I get out of here, I'll text and say,
So she was walking from the Rouge de Boeuf shelter towards
Sure.
the boat ramp.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You take for granted what, if you grew up in a park,
Yeah.
right? Or even used to driving, like Lord knows.
Right.
So not everybody is.
It's a nice wide path, but
Yes.
how he fit a car on it and thought he could go, I don't
No,
know.
it won't surprise you the things that we've seen,
Yeah.
right? So I'll make a note of that.
Yeah.
I'll text him when I get out of here to say,
Perfect.
if you can, let's try to cut down on the wrong decisions that people can make.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks again, Matt. All right, next on our agenda is the approval of the minutes from our regular council meeting from Monday, April the 14th. We've all had a chance to receive those and review them. I'll take a motion to accept the minutes.
So moved.
So
Second.
moved, John Rozak, and it looks like Mary Duncan was going to second it. Any further discussion?
I'll have to abstain, I wasn't here.
All right, we have Anthony Bruno going to abstain. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? All righty, thank you. Next is comments, citizens' comments, and I don't have any except we had Matt, so we will move on. Next is, we're going to have an executive session, a conference to confer with the law director per Ohio Revised Code 121.22G2 and Ohio Revised Code 121G3 to consider the purchase or sale of property for public purposes and a pending litigation. Roll call?
I'll move for executive session.
I'll second.
Yes.
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 We will be out of executive session. I'm guessing there could be half an hour or so, but stand by. Thank you.
Pass roll.
I need a motion to move out of executive session.
So moved.
So moved by Wayne Wagner, seconded by Vice Mayor Duncan. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Oppose? All right, we are out of executive session and back into open session. Next is staff reports. We'll start with our administrator.
Thank you, Mayor. Council has a copy of my report. Couple things I wanted to mention. I did have a chance to speak with the representatives of the cemetery board, and looks like we're on, our annual meeting is May 12th at 6 p.m. in the Waterville City Council room here. So last year we had that here at 6 o'clock. Also, I wanted to mention that the city has worked with the county engineer and a private contractor to repaint Prairie Boulevard and State Route 64, and then the Anthony Wayne Trail from Mechanic Street to Dutch Road. So the county engineer is going to be painting his side of the road, and they'll do our side of the road from the Anthony Wayne Trail to Mechanic, and then the city has contracted with a contractor to paint State Route 64 and Prairie Boulevard. So that area will be Prairie Boulevard from Speedway to the Strip Center. So if you're going to Kroger, you notice the street painting is in need of painting. So that's one of the main areas where we're concentrating there. And then the other is the intersection of Prairie and 64 to the East Expressway on and off ramp. So that'll also be in the paving here for hopefully in the spring. If council has any other questions.
Council? All right, we will move on to our law director.
No report this evening.
Thank you. And our finance director, John's filling in, so John.
No report tonight, Your Honor.
And next is our treasurer. All right. Next is our police chief.
Evening, Mayor and Council. Should have a copy of my report. A couple things to add. This past Saturday, Officer Wyatt Saylor helped the department participate in the National Prescription Drug Take-Back. We were able to get 39 pounds, which set a record for us. 3 University of Toledo pharmaceutical students also helped out. Officer A.J. Glover wanted me to remind everyone about the Safety City program. Starts on June 23rd to the 27th. We do have day and afternoon sessions still available, and registrations are on our website at waterville.org. And that's all I have.
Council?
So Joe, I'm going to kind of jump ahead for a second because it shows up here. I'm going to jump to ordinance 225 about the no parking signs.
Okay.
So I noticed we put the no parking signs up. Talked about this, 3 months ago. I think we talked about it. A citizen was concerned about some of the emergency vehicles, and a school bus got stopped. So we decided to put it on the agenda immediately. Kudos to our guys, they put up the signs. They're covered right now. Is that because it's not approved yet?
Yes. What we did
So-
was, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Once we found out about the issue with the school bus,
Mhm.
Chief Meyer and Director Binkley, we went down there, parked cars out in the road, and kind of simulated what the parking looked like.
Yep.
We measured, and it was 8 foot 9 inches from mirror to mirror,
Mhm.
which Doug says there's no way an ambulance or a fire truck could get through there. So we all kind of made the determination that this is a safety issue, that we should probably post the signs now, and then, I know it's kind of putting the cart
So that- yes.
before the horse, but we did a little research, or I did. There's 56 houses back there that need, I mean, you can go around down the River Road and back
Mhm.
up to Mount Vernon, and if you put 2 residents in each house, it's it's 112 people. It was kind of a judgment call by us, I guess the department heads. Since we didn't have the 3 readings, I guess that's why the black.
So, Joe, I think it was a great judgment call, and I think I have no idea why they're covered. It is a safety issue, to my knowledge, and I know this because my son got a ticket. A city can change a speed limit or something, and if it's against Ohio Revised Code, technically they can go back to the judge and say, hey, it's posted, Ohio Revised Code has it posted as this. I look at this at a similar situation. If we have the signs up, we've confirmed it's a safety issue. We just can't ticket them, correct?
I put an email out to the guys that we were gonna give
Can't
them
ticket
60 to 90 days, yeah.
Exactly.
We were just gonna give them warnings or.
So why, being it's a safety issue, why would you guys cover them?
I guess we need 3 readings.
But can't you just throw the signs up and not ticket them? Katie?
I mean, if we're going to, they could, but if we're, if we're gonna do this transparently, and we're going to do it not as an emergency measure, have the 3 readings, then, that's, I think you probably made the right call there.
To cover them?
Yeah, I mean, because, we're working in government. You got 3 readings, and he's got to answer to other people that.
You just don't ticket.
So
I guess I'm thinking if there's 2 cars there and it's blocking an emergency vehicle to get there, that's on us.
No, right.
Could we
Oh,
pass it?
wait, we
Could
didn't have
do-
all the readings, so it's okay that we wait 45 more seconds for an emergency vehicle to go around? Come on.
Could we
So,
pass it- Could we pass it as an emergency, Katie?
I believe you could, yes.
So I'm going to suggest that when it comes up, that's my recommendation, is to pass it tonight.
Okay.
So, Todd, thanks for bringing up. Don't leave yet, Joe. I got something for you.
I've got questions also.
Todd, anything else?
No, thank you, Joe.
Go ahead.
Chief, I see we had 8 separate calls on Prairie Boulevard. Seems to be a hot spot for this month, and we're also up another 17 calls from the previous month. I don't know if that's probably the weather's getting warmer.
Yes.
I'm sure that brings people out more, but what's kind of going on at Prairie Boulevard? It seems to be kind of a hot spot.
We've got some domestic problems up there. I shouldn't say it's the whole complex. It's some individuals that live
Okay.
up there. The manager, we've got a meeting scheduled with her. She's requested reports, so I think they're gonna handle it on their end, try to maybe deal with the situation the best they can and alleviate some calls for us.
Okay.
So how they do that is, I guess, up to them, but hopefully this week we meet with them just to discuss and be transparent with the calls that we've got.
Okay, no, that sounds good, talking with them to make them aware that we're watching.
Right.
And it's starting to become a draw on our services.
Right,
Thanks, Chief.
sure.
Anything else? John?
No? Good, thank you.
Nothing else.
Chief, I have one item. On March 28th, officers responded to illegal use of tracking devices in the 7500 block of Dutch. I know there's an investigation going on, but generally speaking, what is that all about?
I don't know the specifics in that case, but usually it's a domestic issue where somebody puts a tracking device. It could be on a phone or an Apple tracking
AirTag.
iPod,
AirTag.
in a car. I'll look it up. I'll find out exactly. But in the past, those are what the issues used to be.
Domestics.
But I'll get you more details.
Good. Everybody good in the department?
Yeah, everybody's doing good?
So spring weather, obviously warm weather, summer. I imagine you're thinking ahead to golf carts and bicycles and things like that. Anything now to
We've got
mention?
2 officers slated to go to bike school a week long. Golf carts getting ready to get washed, and we'll bring that out. We'll have some guests
Good.
on the weekends.
All right.
The guys are ready to hit the road.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Next, we'll go with our Public Works Director.
Changing it up.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, everyone. Just a couple of quick things. Hydrant flushing will start May 5th. It'll be roughly 2 weeks, as long as the weather allows it. We will start hydrant painting as soon as we're done flushing, so we can get those looking nice again. And the last thing I have is we got the new drinking water line in at Conrad Park.
Good.
And that's all I have.
Council, questions for our director?
Rob, did we end up getting, I know we had to get it from down south, did we get the boom lift?
Yes, it was delivered Friday afternoon.
Nice, good.
Good. Thank you very much, sir. Next, our fire chief, Doug Meyer.
Evening, Mayor and Council. You have a copy of my report. The only thing I have to add this evening is that we participated in the Prom Promise mock crash at Anthony Wayne this morning. It went well. It's to try to leave a lasting impact on distracted driving or underage drinking and driving. So coming into the prom season and graduation season, if we can impact one person, we've made a difference. So we participated in that this morning, and other than that, I don't have anything else to add.
Council?
I think it was a very effective program, Doug. My daughter came home traumatized, which is a good thing.
Well, we're trying not to traumatize them,
No,
but make
I
a
want her to
point.
be traumatized. She's a new driver. Traumatize her.
Looks like you swore in a new fire.
Yep. So we did a swearing-in ceremony at the station for one of our new hires.
Awesome, congratulations. Yeah.
We're trying to make it inclusive for families, so we had refreshments and gave a station tour afterward, and you know, trying to bring a little bit closer, make it more family-oriented.
Very nice.
Good.
Good picture of John doing the swear in the mirror.
Anthony Bruno?
Doug, I certainly see our mutual aid continues to go up. It seems like it was almost a quarter of our runs this month. And of course, as I see, we're up from March of last year.
Yeah.
I guess it's just something for council to keep an eye on. Certainly to make sure that you have the personnel that you need.
Yeah. As the city grows, the demand will be there, and we're growing rapidly. So.
Thank you. Wayne? John?
Yep, good, thanks, Doug.
So, thank you for the report. I also received some information recently. And there's two sides to this. I think like Matt said from the Metro Parks, you gotta have a little bit of fun, people remember things, but seriously, we do have a safe city. We've got safety officers, our police department and our public works, and of course our fire department taking good care of our city. But sometimes people misbehave, like out at Kroger, like shoplifters. And so I was informed today that
Our law director informed you of this. She was there too.
I have the microphone right now. So, anyways, I was informed today that Doug Meyer was at the right place at the right time when a shoplifter decided to take some barbecue sauce, among other things, out of Kroger, and Doug was going down Prairie Boulevard and just noticed this person jogging. That's not a big deal. But then when he saw Doug in the vehicle, no lights on, just the emergency vehicle, darted in front of him, over into the weeds, and dove into the weeds. Doug, being the smart fire chief, he learned it from Joe Vilvano. Something must be up. So then around the corner, here comes some folks from Kroger chasing this shoplifter, and he get him. So anyways, we do have a safe city. Sometimes things happen, and thanks to the public works and public safety folks that stepped up. You know, you see something, you hear something, report it. So, Doug, we have a little present for you. We have some police badge. We have some handcuffs. We want you to take this and keep it in your vehicle. And thank you very much for doing your job above and beyond. So as I said, to make a point out of that, obviously citizens, you see something, report it.
something.
I know we all see in various media where folks say, did you see this, did you hear that? And they're talking to themselves. You know, pick up the phone and call the police department or call the fire department, whatever it might be, because then we can get to the bottom of it. So with that, Chief, do you have a report now? No.
I'm all good, thank you, Mayor.
All right, thank you, thank you.
Thanks.
Next is communication from council members, and I'll start with the Vice Mayor Duncan.
Thank you. I have a couple of things. One, we want to remind everybody the Anthony Wayne Arts Commission will be sponsoring Eats and Beats in Conrad Park on Tuesday nights, once a month. The first one is June 10th, the second one is July 18th, and the third one is August 12th. They have expanded the food trucks that are coming, and I just want to make sure everybody's aware of those dates and has them on their calendar, because it's going to be fun. And they do such a great job with the kids, with the crafts in the rec building, and I enjoy the food trucks, so please mark your calendars and everybody come out.
Good, thank you. Anything else?
Yeah, I got a couple things.
Go ahead.
Just a couple things.
And Mary, that's 5 to 8, correct?
Yes.
Food trucks?
Yep. So also I attended the Neighborhood Bridges board meeting, and they are looking for more subscribers. So if you go on the website of Neighborhood Bridges and sign up, you'll receive an email about once a week, maybe. You can sign up for less, but the Anthony Wayne Bridges, Neighborhood Bridges, does a great job in assisting our students in the Anthony Wayne School District. I know there was a few students that could not afford their cap and gowns. That got taken care of. They do things, and it's all anonymous, so nobody really knows who gets the help. And they have a great base of people that are happy to step up and either give them money or food. The summer program for the take home a bag of food that they do, very, very confidential. The kids either come and pick up the bags, or the bags are put in their locker in their backpack. So that no kid knows whether or not you're getting a bag of food for the weekend or not. And so I encourage everyone to sign up to receive the emails, whether or not you intend to help. At least you're aware of some of the needs in the area. I did talk to the board about expanding it to adults, because I know that the schools are very well taken care of, and with the food drive that we did when Barb retired, and we saw a lot of, I mean, not a lot, we have a few people in Waterville that do need help. We are, you know, I don't think people understand that we have veterans that need food assistance. I know Doug and Joe, their department, are in those homes sometimes, and then it's, you know, this guy really, he lives in one room, and he has 4 cans of beans and a TV and a chair, and that's it, you know. So I'd like to encourage the public really to sign up if you haven't, and help when you can. So that's it.
Thank you, Mary. John Bozick?
Mayor, I thought I would just remind our citizens that the junction of 3rd Street and Mechanic Street, as you're heading north, is it north on 3rd Street? Is a no left turn, and no left turn because that's a pretty dangerous intersection, really, with the way the traffic funnels through there. Some traffic turning off of Route 20, of the old Route 24, the trail, might not be seen by somebody turning left on to Mechanic Street. So we should be aware that that is right turn only, and for everybody's safety, really, more than anything else.
Thank you.
That's it, Mayor. Thank you.
So May 6th, just as a reminder, we're having our parks meeting. We'll try to discuss master planning for the parks. And then on June 5th, the Tree Commission will be meeting with Stephanie Miller from ODNR to go over our master plan for trees and our urban forest area. So just kind of a reminder, I know we've talked a little bit about the May 6th Parks meeting, but the June 5th Tree Commission meeting is a
All right, thank you.
new development.
Tony Garver
No report.
and Todd.
I would just like to remind Waterville that the USPS is having a food drive May 10th. All non-perishable items will be accepted. They do have bags to pass out. I think they came in 7th last year, and I know they want to step it up this year. So May 10th, food drive, all non-perishable items.
Just put them in your mailbox.
Put them outside by your mailbox, exactly.
All right.
No report.
So I've got a couple things. John Gokenauer and our police chief and officer came to the Kaufman Engineering System groundbreaking. I forget his name. Gunn. Was there. It was a very well-attended program. Waterville is so we're so glad to have Kaufman Engineering Systems as well as other businesses in our community. They had probably 125 folks at the groundbreaking ceremony. Majority of them were employees, but there was a festive excitement, and we got a little tour of the building again. It's amazing what that organization does and where their customers are across the country. And they had a groundbreaking ceremony on a 52,000 square foot building addition. They'll probably be in there in about a year from now. Maybe late this fall, they'll have the manufacturing or the warehouse part of it completed. But they're going to have a state-of-the-art laboratory study area, which is all going to be glass. It's pretty cool. And we were there, and Brian Kaufman and his cousin Nick, the third generation members of that Kaufman family, and second generation members were there. Charlie Kaufman and Bob Kaufman, they were involved in the business. Of course, they retired, but it's good seeing them come back and support their son and their nephew in that program. Thanks to Mary Duncan for mentioning Lisa Exner, but also want to remind folks that on May 30th through June 4th, the Anthony Wayne Art Commission is going to have their Jim White Memorial paint out, and I'm sure more details will be following on that. Next up, Memorial Day, May 26th. The program at Wakeman Cemetery will take place. More information will be presented at our next meeting, but if citizens could consider that as one of their activities for the day to thank our veterans at Memorial Day at Wakeman Cemetery. I think that is all I have for right now. Yes, it is. All right, we will move on now to old business. And this we just talked about a few minutes ago, ordinance number 0225, an ordinance amending Part 3 of the codified ordinances of the City of Waterville, Schedule V5 of the traffic schedules, restricted or prohibited parking South 3rd Street near Locust. The first reading was April the 14th, 2025. The second reading is tonight, scheduled for April 28th, 2025. And the third reading was legislative action is scheduled for May 12th, 2025. As we discussed a few minutes ago, I was going to have a conference with the law director to see if we could just pass this legislation tonight. So I'll ask John to make some comments, and then Katie, if you want to comment further.
Mayor, I don't have any comments. We did bring this issue to the, I guess other than this one, we did bring this issue to the Safety Committee, and we discussed it at the Safety Committee on April 3rd, and they recommended that we extend the no parking area an additional 335 feet from the existing no parking, which is from Locust to Mount Vernon Drive.
And Katie, if we choose to pass this as an emergency, what is the necessary steps we need to take?
You'll just have to follow the language to suspend the rules. Yep,
Okay.
that little sheet in front of you. It would qualify for something that would fall under an emergency for the health and safety of the community.
I'll open it up to council if you have any comments now before we go to any further discussion. We'll go into the protocol. I move the rules be suspended to allow for the passage of ordinance number 0225 as an emergency measure.
Second.
Second, John Rosick. Any more discussion?
Just to be clear, I guess, and I know it's clear from the photograph, John, but the wider part of Third Street will still have parking on both sides.
Correct.
Is that right?
Correct, and, you know, the idea of the street department parking the cars was to kind of see where the bottleneck started. And, you know, we got people saying, well, you can't get through, but you can't get through. Well, where exactly can't you get through? So that's kind of why we did that, just to make sure we knew where the bottleneck started. And it's, you know, it's basically right after the warehouse drive there, and then all the way to the corner on the west side of the street.
The first part of the first half a block, I guess, is wide enough with cars on both sides to get, yeah, okay, good.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. I move for the final passage. Wait a minute, roll call, roll call.
Yes.
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 All right, I move for the final passage of ordinance number 0225, first, second, and final reading as an emergency measure.
Second?
Second, that was Todd Borowski. Any more discussion? Roll call.
Yes.
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 Yes, yes.
Yes.
I want to go back just to communication from council members. It'll come up again, but I think it's worth mentioning. Council receives calls occasionally. I know I do. We all get messages, but just a general comment that there's a lot of things that the minister has to do to keep things in shape, and one of them is a refuge, which we'll talk about that in a minute. But it's a domino effect. The things have to come in play. We do have, Karen, write this down. We do have the unlimited pickup dates, which we're going to be talking about in a minute. They're not the best dates, but due to circumstances, we're going to live with them this year, and we'll do better with getting it lined up for next year. But unlimited pickup dates are July 26th and August 2nd, and then later on in the fall, October 25th and November 1. And I know a lot of folks will be happy to know that. Alrighty. Now we will move on to new business. A resolution extending the contract of the Republic Services for the refuge collection and disposal and recycling. John?
Thank you, Mayor. This resolution would extend the contract for refuse recycling and disposal services with Republic Services. It expires May 31st, 2025, so this would be a one-year extension and would be until May 31st, 2026. All terms and conditions of the existing contract would remain the same, other than the increase. They're requesting a $2.65 per month increase per dwelling unit. The new rate would be $15.63. And checking with what other area communities are paying, this increase seems to be in the range of what other area communities are paying. White House pays $15.39, Rossford $18.30, Monclova Township $16.44, Oregon $15.48. And then we had some outliers. Village of Swanton is $29.25. Village of Delta is $24 a month. So that would be for a year. The mayor and I and Councilman Duncan, we had several meetings with Republic, and we did emphasize to them that their service needs to improve. We feel their service needs to improve, and I think most people would agree that there are times when it isn't the best. But we'd like to give them one more year to improve their service, and we can gauge how they've done, and that's essentially the idea for the one-year extension.
So I need a motion to accept resolution 1825.
So moved.
So moved from Todd Borowski, and a second.
Second.
Second, Tony Garver. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Oppose? All right, next is resolution 1925, a resolution repealing resolution 1325 and authorizing the municipal administrator to award a contract to Helms and Sons Excavating, Inc. for the 2025 paving program. And John's going to give us a background story on that.
Thank you, Mayor. At your March 24th meeting, council did award the 2025 paving program to the low bidder, which was Henry Bergman, Inc., and that's was for $513,839. The city has notified Bergman that they were the successful bidder. We sent them contracts, and they have not entered into a contract with the city as of today's date. So under section 153-54 of the Ohio Revised Code, the city can withdraw their award to Bergman and go with the next bidder, which would be Helms and Sons Excavating of Findlay, Ohio, and their bid was $569,567. So under the Ohio Revised Code, in that section I mentioned, the low bidder would be responsible for making up the difference between their bid, Bergman's bid, and the next bidder, which would be Helms. So the city will be filing a request claim against the low bidder's bid bond for the difference between the Bergman bid and the Helms bid.
Thank you. I need a resolution, or a motion to accept resolution 1925.
So moved.
So moved, Todd Borowski, and a
Second.
second, Mary Duncan. Any more discussion?
I would just say that I don't recall this ever happening in my years of service on council, that a low bidder, the winning bidder, doesn't even sign the contract. So it's very, very unusual. And I think the reason we want to do it is to get the project started,
Right.
so we don't have to wait and have construction during snow season, for example.
All right.
But it's unfortunate, I think, all things considered.
So I know, council, we passed the budget early this year, earlier than usual, which allowed John and the team to get things organized for the year. And so this is a little bit disappointing that we have to take a pause here, but I think it's for the best. And we have a resolution 1925 been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Thank you. Next is resolution 2025, a resolution authorizing the municipal administrator to award a contract to Midwest Contracting to repair a vehicle damage to Parker Square Park. John?
Thank you, Mayor. Council is aware of the damage that was done to Parker Square in November of 2024. A car crashed into the entry wall and damaged the wall, the lighting, and the electrical facilities. The city did receive a settlement from the driver's insurance company, so that took a little while to get the settlement. And the estimated cost for repairs was $41,200. That was the amount of the settlement from the insurance company. Midwest Contracting has agreed to make the repairs for $41,200, and they had to wait until the weather was better to do the work, so they would like to proceed with the repair work to Parker Square.
Need a motion to accept resolution 2025.
So moved.
So
Second.
move Wayne Wagner. Need a second?
Second.
Second, John Rozick. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oppose? Next is resolution 2125, a resolution authorizing the municipal administrator to enter into an agreement with Proudfoot Associates, Inc. for the engineering services to prepare plans, specifications, and bid documents for the 2026 Canal Road paving improvement project. John?
Thank you, Mayor. This resolution authorizes an agreement with Proudfoot and Associates to prepare plans, specifications, and bid documents for the 2026 Canal Road paving improvement project. So the city applied for a grant for this project. The cost estimate is $338,000. The grant that the city received is $166,972. So it essentially will widen the roadway in spots, an average of 2 feet, and then we'll install a stone berm. We'll also be repaving from North Street to the Anthony Wayne Trail. We'll take a look at the intersection there at the trail, possibly widen that, and then the city is also getting a grant of $8,863 for a crosswalk beacon, which will be installed as a part of that project. So we replaced the water line in the roadway. So in portions of the roadway, you know, we had to cut up the road, and then the road was in bad shape to begin with. So wanted to try to move this project ahead. So ideally, we would put this out to bid later this year, and then we would start on it in the spring of 2026.
Thank you. So I need a motion to accept resolution 2125.
So moved.
So moved. Anthony Garver, need a second?
Second.
Wayne Wagner seconded. Any more discussion?
Yeah, just a couple things, Mayor, if I may.
Yes, sir.
On the widening of the turning radius at Canal, is that the entrance to Canal off of the trail? What I'm not sure.
Yeah,
what that is.
that's the intersection there. So if you notice, the street is, you're cracking off the edges, people turning over and getting into, so we're gonna widen that out as far as we can, and then we also have to have a way to connect the existing shared use path with the new one that's going down to Dutch Road, so have to kind of reconfigure, re-engineer that to make that safe, and you know, it's a problem, as I'm sure you're aware.
I'm very aware of it.
So we wanna make sure that at least is better than it is. I don't know how much better you can make it. You widen the radius, people still drive onto into the grass, but we'll do our best with that.
Good, that's good. And that, I think I'm all favor for that. The crossing beacon would be crossing Canal where at the intersection of Village Parkway. Is
Right.
That right? Okay.
Right. So that'll be a little more noticeable, and that is a busy area there. There's not a lot of space between the intersection and Village Parkway. So when that's lit, you'll know someone's trying to cross there. So.
And then one more, John. The widening and the berm, there, on the side where all the houses are, there's not a lot of room to widen without removing trees. And then as you go towards the other side, towards the trail, I think there probably is room. But would it be configured more towards the trail, the widening?
Right, right. There are portions of the road that aren't, they jog in and out and try to square it up and make it a little straighter. But yeah, most of the expansion will be on the east side of the road, so on the canal trail side, and then the berm essentially, the postman driving off the road to deliver mail, running up the grass and things like that. We're going to extend a berm there for that kind of stuff.
So no trees to remove on the residential side.
No, as far as I know.
Yeah,
We're gonna raise the speed limit too, right?
50 miles an hour.
Hey, John, I
Thanks,
just have a
John.
quick question. So the city engineer, it wasn't too long ago that we put that road in, correct? Canal, when we widened it, didn't we widen it a couple feet towards the trail
No, we
where it's breaking up?
in 1990, I think was the
Oh,
last
it's been
time.
1990?
Yeah,
Oh,
since the
okay.
last time we did any real substantial work on.
Okay, I thought we put some,
Canal.
I thought we widened it a few inches towards the trees. That's why it's breaking up.
No, just, people are taking the corner too wide and
Okay.
cracking off the edges of the pavement there, so.
And if this, okay, all right, thanks.
Good. All right, so we have a motion and a second for resolution 2125. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose. All right. Next is other information or unscheduled business.
I have one thing.
Go right ahead, Vice Mayor.
My phone is, people are asking about the dates. for unlimited pickup. July 26th is Area A, and August 2nd is Area B, is that correct?
Correct.
And then October 25th is Area A,
Yes.
and November 1st is Area B.
Correct.
I didn't want to assume before I answered everybody, so just to be clear.
Good.
Thank you.
Good. Alrighty, anyone else? So I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved, John Rosick, and a second.
Second.
Wayne Wagner, any more discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
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 We are adjourned.